for daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit up by, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host of DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our Fantasy Draft NBA picks for Friday, February 21st. We have a 9-game slate, and as usual, we do our quick Core 5 here early in the morning before everything locks here on Fantasy Draft. First things first, thank you for all your support. Grab a coffee and Bailey's. Cheers to you all, man. I really do appreciate all the support, making my stupid ass a part of your day every day. It's truly humbling. Thank you all so much. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit subscribe down below, get access to all of our content. Our XFL Week 3 video is already up. We cover NBA for all the sites, etc. So lots of stuff there. Hit subscribe, I would appreciate that. Also, by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment in the comment section, you qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. And for those of you who are new to Fantasy Draft, if you comment with your Fantasy Draft username in the comment section, we're doing giveaways. Today, we're going to give away 2 entries into the $3,500 layup here on Fantasy Draft. All you have to do to qualify for those giveaways that we're going to do every Friday is simply comment with your Fantasy Draft username. If you do not yet have a Fantasy Draft account, it's absolutely free to create an account. Go to FantasyDraft.com, enter promo code DFS Bachelor, and then comment in the comment section below. For those of you who are new to Fantasy Draft is rake-free DFS. And what that means is that all of your entry fees go directly back into the prize pool. So even when you cross that, minimum cash threshold, etc., higher, you win more of the player pool, higher chances of winning. It's a whole lot of fun. Be sure to check it out. And one thing to note, if you are new, the salary cap is doubled on Fantasy Draft from that of DraftKings. So that's why if you see a player at $19,000, that's about the equivalent of $9,500 on DraftKings. It's important that I point that out. So we have 2 winners for today's contest. And our winners are Detroit Wheels. My boy Peter, congratulations to you, bro. And our other winner is DX Filer. So those entries will be in your account for today's $5 $3,500 layup on Fantasy Draft. Congratulations to both of you. And it's that simple. Just comment with your Fantasy Draft username. So let's jump right into it. Up here at guard, you can see the format's a little bit different. 3 guards, 3 forward/centers, and 2 utility players. A little bit different format. So you could theoretically play 5 centers if you so desire to do so, which I think is really interesting. I like the kind of lineup flexibility that it awards you there. So let's start at the top. CJ McCollum, 12,200 on Fantasy Draft. So you're getting him for the equivalent of just over $6K. Damian Lillard's going to be out. When Damian Lillard's out, you can sign me up for CJ McCollum. He's going to have a huge usage rate, big-time upside. In terms of Fantasy Draft scoring, New Orleans is 25th against opposing guards. It's a big-time paced-up game for Portland. Both these teams play at a nice pace, but New Orleans plays at an even faster pace. He's at home. In his last 5 games against New Orleans, only 1 game under a 32. He's got a 42, a couple of 38s. Overall, against shooting guards, New Orleans is 12th. Nice paced-up game, lots of extra usage. Sign me up for some CJ McCollum. Next, at the top, back from injury. We saw that right before the All-Star break and ready to rock. I like Luka Doncic. Now, Orlando is decent against guards. They're 12th in terms of Fantasy Draft scoring against guards. Overall, against point guards, they are 4th in the league, but we know this guy has massive upside. Right now, you're getting him for $19,000 on Fantasy Draft. That's the equivalent of $9,500 on DraftKings. When you look at his price today on DraftKings, he's $10,600. I like the value. I like the price. I think Luka has big-time upside, and I think there's plenty of value on this slate to justify paying up for Luka. Next for me, Lonzo Ball in that same game. Again, without Damian Lillard there, the defensive liability for Lonzo Ball, much easier. He's going to be guarding a guy like Anthony Simons, etc. Gary Trent Jr. could see more minutes. He is 13-4 on Fantasy Draft, so you're getting him about the equivalent of $6,700. Portland on fantasy draft scoring is 27th against opposing guards. Overall, against opposing point guards, they are 23rd in the league. A 34 and a 25 his last 2 games against Portland. But again, things should be a little bit easier without Damian Lillard there. I like Lonzo Ball's upside tonight. I like that New Orleans-Portland game tonight. Next for me at the / center spot, Kemba Walker is out for the night. Again, you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Bachelor as news comes out throughout the day. There's always something that comes up. That's what she said. And but without Kemba Walker, the usage rate for Gordon Hayward goes up exponentially. Gordon Hayward is 13-1 on fantasy drafts. You're getting him for just over 6,500. Today on DraftKings, he's 7K, so I like the value there. Minnesota, 22nd in terms of fantasy draft scoring against / centers. Against small forwards, they're 27th overall in the league. He put up a 45 and a 58 in his last 2 games against Minnesota. It's kind of a bummer that Karl Anthony Towns is out for Minnesota. We'll get to that in a moment because the team is so horrible defensively. When Karl Anthony Towns is there, it makes things easier for everyone involved. Amin El Hassan had an awesome stat yesterday talking about if you took Minnesota's 2 top 4 lineups and you have one with Karl Anthony Towns in it, they are the worst defensive rated team. That's the worst defensive rated lineup in the league. When you swap it out with Georgie Dang, who was there earlier this year, they're a top 10. So that just shows you how bad Karl Anthony Towns is defensively. So it could pick up a little bit, but they're going to be awfully small up front. I think Gordon Hayward is in line for a big game today. And for some value, the aforementioned Karl Anthony Towns is out tonight. So James Johnson could make another start, and he has been playing well since coming over to Minnesota. He is 9K on fantasy draft, the equivalent of 4,500 on DraftKings. He's sitting there at 46 today. In his last 3 games with Minnesota, a 32, a 30, and a 21. Overall, against / centers, Boston is 2nd in the league, so they're a good defensive team. Against power forwards, they're 15th. I think James Johnson has big upside. He's going to play plenty of minutes. Triple-double kind of upside. He's got ball handling upside, etc. Kind of a chance for him to resurrect his career here in Minnesota. I like James Johnson a lot tonight. So if you go with that core 5 of CJ McCollum, Luka Doncic, Lonzo Ball, Gordon Hayward, and James Johnson, that still leaves you 11,100 per player, and there's plenty of value for tonight. So I think that gives you plenty of salary to fill out the rest of your lineup. Don't forget to comment with your fantasy draft username. If you don't have one, go create one, fantasydraft.com. Enter promo code DFS Bachelor. Congratulations again to our winners, Detroit Wheels and DX Filer. That entry will be in your account later this afternoon. Just look in the upcoming tab. Thank you all again so much for all your support. Cheers to you all. May the fantasy gods be with you. Be sure to check out our XFL Week 3 video as well. And we'll have our other NBA videos out, etc. Later on today. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.